We tend to talk about intelligence as if it were a ladder. Higher at the top, lower at the bottom, faster, smarter, better. But the human brain did not evolve to climb ladders. And modern artificial systems were not built to understand the world the way humans do. What we are really comparing are not two levels of intelligence, but two fundamentally different solutions to the same problem. How to reduce uncertainty. How to act with incomplete information. How to function under constraint. By 2030, the most important shift may not be that machines become smarter than humans, but that we finally realize how different kinds of intelligence actually are. So what do experts really expect by the end of this decade? And what does that expectation quietly reveal about the human mind itself? Every era explains the mind using its most advanced technology. In the 1600s, philosophers described the brain as a mechanical clock, precise, predictable, gear-driven. In the early 1900s, it became an electrical network, signals, switches, and currents. By the late 20th century, the dominant metaphor was the digital computer. Each comparison offered insight. Each comparison also smuggled in assumptions. Computers calculate. So we assumed thinking was calculation. Memory stores data. So we assumed remembering was retrieval. These metaphors held until they didn't. Around 2012, deep learning systems began outperforming traditional software in tasks like image recognition and speech processing. What followed was not a single breakthrough, but a statistical pattern. As neural networks became larger, trained on more data, using more computation, their performance improved in surprisingly smooth, predictable ways. This observation became formalized as scaling laws. In parallel, researchers documented that the amount of computation used to train frontier models was increasing extraordinarily fast, often by orders of magnitude over short time spans. Together, these trends produced a powerful narrative. If intelligence improves with scale, then intelligence itself may simply be a function of size, data, and compute. That narrative now dominates popular discussion. But among neuroscientists and many AI researchers, it remains incomplete and deeply debated. The human system. To understand the limits of this comparison, we need to ask a different question. Not how intelligent the brain is, but what it is optimized for. First, structure. The adult human brain contains roughly 86 billion neurons, connected through trillions of synapses. But these neurons are not interchangeable units. They differ in size, chemistry, signaling speed, and function. Some fire rapidly. Others integrate slowly. Some specialize in prediction, others in error correction. The brain is not a centralized processor. It is a layered, self-modifying biological system shaped by development, learning, and embodiment. Second, energy. The brain operates under extreme metabolic constraint. Despite accounting for only about 2% of body mass, it consumes roughly 20% of the body's resting energy. Most of this energy is spent not on abstract computation, but on maintaining and transmitting signals. This constraint is not a flaw. It is a design pressure. Because energy is limited, the brain relies on approximation, prediction, and context. Human cognition is therefore not optimized for accuracy in isolation, but for survival in noisy, uncertain environments. This is why human thinking is fast but fallible, flexible but biased, creative but inconsistent. There is currently no reliable scientific method to translate brain function into computational units like flops in a way that preserves meaning. The pressure. So why does the comparison between AI and the brain feel unavoidable? Because artificial systems now operate in domains that look unmistakably cognitive. They generate language. They recognize patterns. They plan sequences of action. And unlike biological systems, their improvement is driven by variables that can be directly engineered. More compute. More data. Larger models. Performance increases follow. This creates the sense of a controllable directional trajectory. At the same time, expert opinion remains divided. Surveys of AI researchers show wide disagreement about whether broadly capable systems, sometimes described as general, will emerge before 2030. Some assign meaningful probability. Others remain skeptical, pointing to limits of current architectures and training paradigms. What matters here is not who is right. What matters is that uncertainty itself is a core feature of the landscape. Possible futures. Scenario 1, most likely expanding specialization. The most likely outcome by 2030 is not human-level general intelligence, but deepening specialization. Experts generally expect artificial systems to continue outperforming humans across a growing range of well-defined tasks, especially those involving pattern recognition, optimization, and synthesis at scale. These systems will be faster, more consistent, and less fatigued than any biological brain. But they will remain bounded by externally defined goals, training distributions, and evaluation metrics. In this scenario, the role of human cognition shifts, not toward speed, but toward framing. Humans define problems, interpret outputs, and navigate ambiguity that lies outside formal specifications. This future aligns with current deployment patterns, where artificial systems augment decision-making rather than replace it wholesale. No precise probability can be assigned, but among experts, this scenario is widely viewed as the most consistent with existing evidence. Scenario 2, transformative. Architectural breakthroughs, less likely. A second, less likely future involves qualitative change rather than continued scaling. Here, progress would depend on new architectures that integrate long-term memory, causal reasoning, and internal world models in fundamentally different ways. Advocates argue that such systems could generalize across domains with far less data, approximating aspects of human flexibility. If successful, these approaches could blur the line between narrow and broad intelligence before 2030. But history urges caution. Many previous claims of imminent general intelligence did not survive contact with engineering constraints. As a result, expert forecasts typically assign this path a lower but non-zero probability. It is possible, but far from guaranteed. Scenario 3, risk, stress test, capability outpacing structure. The third scenario does not require machines to surpass human intelligence. It requires something more mundane, deployment outpacing institutional adaptation. Here, systems become powerful in narrow domains faster than verification, governance, and social norms can adjust. The risks are not abstract. They include over-trusted automation, large-scale synthetic information, and economic disruption concentrated in specific sectors. This scenario appears frequently in expert risk assessments, not as a prediction of collapse, but as a stress test of current systems. In such conditions, human cognitive strengths, contextual judgment, ethical reasoning, and social coordination become stabilizing forces rather than inefficiencies. 6. adaptation patterns. Across all three scenarios, several adaptation patterns recur. First, hybrid intelligence. Humans and machines operate in layered systems, each compensating for the other's limitations. Second, institutional buffering. Oversight mechanisms, verification pipelines, and domain-specific safeguards expand alongside capability. Third, asymmetric change. Domains grounded in embodied interaction and trust adapt slowly. Domains dominated by digital pattern recognition adapt rapidly. These patterns mirror previous technological transitions, though the scale and speed may be unprecedented. By 2030, the question AI versus the human brain may feel increasingly misguided. Not because the comparison was meaningless, but because it was incomplete. The human brain is a product of evolutionary constraint. Energy-limited, socially embedded, shaped by development. Artificial systems are products of engineering constraint. Scale-driven, domain-focused, externally guided. They are not competing along a single axis. They represent different answers to the same underlying challenge. How to act intelligently under uncertainty. And the deeper insight may not be about machines at all, but about how narrowly we once defined what intelligence was.